Welcome to Sleeping in the Swamp, a program designed to help you create healthy sleeping habits and improve the quality of your sleep. College students are notorious for developing poor sleep habits while at college, and they have a much higher rate of sleep difficulties than other adults. But the good news is that there are many proven ways to improve sleep habits. So I'm going to tell you why it is important to have good sleep habits in college, the impact that sleep problems can have on your grades in life, how to have good sleep habits, and what to do if you are having problems with your sleep. Many college students often say they crammed for hours the night before a test and complain to their professors they studied all night and still had trouble on the test. Students also complain about morning classes, avoiding them if possible, and then sleep in on days they don't need to get up. The average student goes to bed and wakes up 2 hours later on the weekend than during the week, and these sleep habits can lead to long-term sleep difficulties and poor sleep quality. In recent studies, about 90% of college students reported regular sleep difficulties, and the average sleep length for college students has decreased by more than an hour since 1969. Further, the college lifestyle itself seems to be impacting students' sleep habits. Compared to the average adult, twice as many students report symptoms of delayed sleep phase syndrome, which consists of sleep-wake cycles that shift later and later over time, often resulting in less class attendance and lower grades. One study found that without a sleep treatment intervention, students' sleep quality became worse over the semester. But those who participated in a sleep education program like this one demonstrated consistent sleep qualities throughout the entire semester. Many students believe if they only sleep 6 hours every night, they will adjust to it. People who get more than 6 hours of sleep per night have faster reaction times and thinking speed, both of which are important in academic life, athletics, and leisure pursuits. Good sleep habits can even increase your ability to learn new things and remember them later. Why does this occur? As it turns out, one of the purposes of sleep is to organize and store information learned during the day, so it is easier to recall at a later time. This reorganization and memory storage seems to occur during dream sleep. Studies have found that the longer the amount of dream sleep, the better people perform on recently learned knowledge tests. In addition to your grades, good sleep habits can positively impact your life as well. Good sleep quality in college students is related to less depression, fewer mood swings, less irritability, better concentration, and greater life satisfaction. Habitually tired students tend to report greater frequencies of negative mood and more marijuana and alcohol use. So you may be wondering, what's the big deal? All I have to do is drink some caffeine if I feel sleepy, or go back to bed after classes and everything will be fine. Unfortunately, research shows otherwise. Two groups of students were given a test that measured critical thinking abilities and attention. One group of students stayed up all night before the test, and the other group slept 8 hours before the test. The group who stayed up all night rated their performance on the test higher than the students who slept before the test. However, the students who got a full night's sleep actually performed better on the test. This is probably why some of you believe you did fine on a test after staying up all night to study, and are shocked when you get a lower grade than expected. By now, you're probably starting to realize that getting a consistent night's sleep might be a good idea. But just in case you need a little more convincing, here is proof that sleep has a direct impact on your grades. One study showed that sleep had a greater impact on grade point average than exercise, nutrition, mood state, perceived stress, time management, or other variables tested. Another study showed that students with grades of C or lower reported about 25 minutes less sleep per night and going to bed about 40 minutes later than students reporting A's and B's. One reason this may be true is that while you sleep, your brain goes through a process called memory consolidation. This is where the things you learn during the day are consolidated and stored in memory. By depriving yourself of sleep, you prevent this process from occurring, and this helps explain why pulling an all-nighter to cram for a test is a bad idea. Having a consistent sleep schedule is just as important as the amount of sleep. Research shows that students who shift their sleep schedules 2 hours earlier or later, or sleep 2 hours shorter or longer than normal, have the same problems as those who sleep less than 6 hours a night. Namely, they report depressive symptoms, lower sociability, and more frequent concentration and attention difficulties. Another common myth is that people can adjust to unusual sleeping patterns. People with chronic irregular sleep-wake cycles do not adjust but continue to have low levels of energy, emotional distress, slower reaction times, and a general decline in alertness. In other words, if you have an option of sleeping later than normal to get 8 hours or more of sleep, or of getting up after only 6 hours but sticking to your regular wake-up schedule, it is better to stick to your schedule. Attempting to make up for lost sleep will disrupt your sleep schedule, and you will have trouble getting back to sleep at your normal time. Staying up late on the weekend is why many people hate Monday mornings, besides having to go to work or class. These are just a few examples of the importance of consistent sleep habits and good quality sleep. Many other examples and discoveries about the impact of sleep on our daily lives are being made all the time. The main point is that sleep can clearly impact your life in many areas. Now I'm going to talk about ways to have consistent sleep. The following tips are ways you can improve your sleep quality. The good news is that research indicates following these guidelines can improve sleep quality much more than medications. Number 1. Wake up within an hour of your normal wake-up time every day, including weekends. This establishes a regular wake-up time. If you sleep late every time you go to bed late, you will find your bed and wake-up time shifting later each day. It is much better to get a consistent schedule and sleep approximately the same amount at the same time each night. Number 2. Expose yourself to sunlight or other bright lights in the morning. You become and stay sleepy when your biological clock releases the hormone melatonin into your body, and bright light stops the flow of melatonin. Without exposure to bright light, many people's bodies do not completely stop the flow of melatonin, and this is why many people feel sleepy or depressed on cloudy days. Number 3. Avoid taking naps. If you do take a nap, limit it to less than an hour early in the afternoon. If you have difficulty falling asleep or go to bed late and wake up at your normal wake-up time, you will naturally feel sleepy during the day. Taking a long nap late in the day will cause you to lose your sleepiness and then have difficulty falling asleep at your normal bedtime. Number 4. Do not go to bed until you are drowsy. If you go to bed without being sleepy, you might toss and turn and worry about not falling asleep, which makes your body more aroused and makes it even harder to get to sleep. This can become a habit and lead to sleep problems. Some people worry that waiting until feeling sleepy is not realistic since they have to wake up at an early hour the next morning. But if you get up at the same time each day, your body will become tired enough that after several nights you will be able to fall asleep at your scheduled bedtime. These first 4 tips will give you a consistent sleep cycle. Remember, if you stay up late and only get 5 hours of sleep, sleeping later than normal may be just as detrimental as getting only 5 hours of sleep. Sleeping late can mess up your sleep routine for several days, but not getting enough sleep will only bother you that day. Now that you have the tools for consistent sleep, here are some tips for improving the quality of your sleep. Number 1. Exercise regularly, but not within 2 hours of bedtime. Exercising in the morning or afternoon may be a good way to counter feelings of sleepiness because it wakes you up through physiological arousal. However, the same arousal will keep you from falling asleep if you exercise too close to your normal bedtime. Number 2, if you usually snack before bedtime, have a light carbohydrate snack with a small amount of fluid, such as milk. Going to sleep hungry is not comfortable, but at the same time you do not want to eat or drink too much because it may cause you to get up and go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. Number 3, avoid alcohol more than 2 hours before bedtime. Although alcohol may help you relax and fall asleep, it leads to restless, non-restorative sleep, and you will tend to wake up during the night as it wears off. Number 4, avoid caffeine within 6 hours prior to bedtime. Caffeine is a stimulant for all people, even those who claim they do not feel any different after ingesting it, and it can interfere with the natural sleep cycle. So if you are having sleep difficulties, check the ingredients of evening medications, beverages, or food that you eat before bedtime to see if one of them might be the culprit. Number 5, if you are a smoker, avoid smoking within 2 hours of bedtime. Like caffeine, nicotine is a powerful physical stimulant. Your mind may feel more relaxed after a cigarette, but you are more physically aroused. Higher physical arousal makes it more difficult to fall asleep. If you are looking for a reason to quit smoking and have sleep problems, this may be a good time to think about quitting. Next are some ways to control your sleeping environment. Number 1, don't use your bed or bedroom for any activity other than sleep or sex. This will ensure you associate the bedroom with sleeping. If you begin to associate your bed or bedroom with other activities, it will be difficult to fall asleep and/or stay asleep. You should not watch television, read, talk on the phone, worry, argue with your significant other, or even eat in bed. This may be difficult to follow if you live in a residence hall, but try to at least limit your activity on your bed to relaxing activities. For example, if you are having a heated discussion on the phone, try not to do it while lying on your bed. Number 2, lie down intending to sleep only when sleepy. If you go to bed when you're not sleepy, you will associate your bed with feeling frustrated about not being able to fall asleep. If you are unable to fall asleep after about 15 minutes, get up and go into another room. If you are in a residence hall, get out of bed and do something non-sleep related, but that is relaxing. Return to bed only after you feel sleepy. Number 3, make your bedroom easier to sleep in and have a bedtime ritual. Establish a set of regular pre-sleep routines that get you ready for bed, and each night do the same routine in the same order. This will prepare your body for sleep, and you will associate these activities with bedtime. Turn down the lights, make sure your bed is comfortable, and minimize noise. Use earplugs if your neighbors are noisy. Uncomfortable sleeping environments raise your physiological arousal and decrease your chances of falling asleep or staying asleep. Number 4, if you awaken in the middle of the night and cannot fall asleep within 15 minutes, get out of bed and do something else that is relaxing until you feel sleepy again. Lying in bed trying to fall asleep can lead to worrying about sleep. This worry can lead to associating your bed with stress and anxiety, making it even harder to fall asleep. Getting out of bed ensures you only associate your bed with sleep. You now have all the tools necessary to improve the quality of your sleep. By following these tips, you should begin to see an improvement not only in your sleep, but in your grades and other areas of your life as well. If you think you may be having sleep problems, consider making an appointment with your primary health care provider. If you want more information about getting on a regular sleep schedule, there are several resources on campus. You can also find information online at WebMD, the Mayo Clinic, and the National Sleep Foundation. In conclusion, remember the following key points. Do everything you can to associate your bed with sleep and sex only. Consistency is essential to your sleep schedule. Good sleep habits are linked to better academic performance, and even small changes to your sleep schedule can have a big impact on your life and grades. On the following slide, you will find links to take a sleep self-assessment, create your own sleep behavior plan, and print the Sleeping in the Swamp handout. In addition to these links, you will also find a link to the full-text script and reference pages. Thank you for watching this presentation.